Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Virgo reading. The new moon in Virgo is occurring on the 14th tomorrow on the west coast of the U.S. I have laid out the African Tarot. I'll clarify with Guardians of the Night Tarot, and I will finish off with a couple of different oracle decks. I will be building and extended from this reading. So if you're finding that this reading resonates with you, if you're enjoying it, if you'd like to comment, please consider liking, sharing this video with others, and subscribing to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I will post the link of the extended video in the description box below. So let's get started, Aquarius, with your overall energy for this new moon in Virgo, the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about you moving away from some very strong bonds and relationships that may have existed in your life for a very long time. This often can relate to family members, but it can relate to any relationships or relationships to things, goals, or objectives that you would like to have held on to for a long time. You're only now gaining the courage to recognize that you need more of a challenge, that you've gotten everything you could from these relationships, and that you thirst to move on. You thirst for a greater challenge because you have seen a greater happiness available for you. The Eight of Cups comes right before the Nine of Cups, where you achieve that sense of satisfaction, that you're doing what you can do to unlock your gifts, to receive the abundance and joy that you seek. In the position of the moon, we have the Three of Swords, and this is what you're bringing to the situation, the improvement of your situation. This is about understanding, deeply understanding the lessons you've learned from failures, heartaches, and disappointments. You have taken responsibility for your part in anything that didn't work out in the past as you had visioned it, understanding that you may have falsely believed that someone else or something else was going to give you something that you desired. Now you are at a place not only of understanding the way you would correct your actions moving forward, but you're also understanding that you could not be where you are, receiving the recognition that there is a greater, more significant challenge moving forward without these lessons. And therein lies the gift for you of realizing that you had to experience these things in order to craft your forward motion. In the position for the Sun, the Queen of Cups shows what qualities you're gaining that are taking you closer to the pursuit of your objectives. And the Queen of Cups is about your real deep empathy for others who you see suffering similarly to yourself, but also your sense of your ability to forgive others, which can often, for many of us, come much more easily than the ability to forgive ourselves. That is key to the ability to recognize the gift in letting go of things that have not served you, but to be grateful and thankful for the opportunity to learn the things that we are learning now. The sense of greater authenticity, the ability to move towards things that feel good, can only happen by releasing the things that have hurt you, the things that have damaged you. And you are now using your feelings to gauge the rightness of opportunities and relationships for you. It's not that the Queen of Cups is able to feel the entire range of emotions and to know that the purpose of the ability to feel that. Feeling the hurt and the pain is what reinforces something that wasn't for you. Without that, we may possibly be repeating unhappy circumstances over and over again if they didn't feel bad. And that is part of how humans learn. It's part of how humans grow. We have to be forced out of sometimes a unaligned situation or relationship in order to leave it behind and move on to something that has greater, more successful, happier resonance with where we want to be. In the present, the Fool card. This is apparently an air sign card for the day. The Fool is about all of the faith, all of the belief that you are able to invest in yourself as a result of releasing relationships, perhaps that had no faith or little faith in you. You are understanding that you have perhaps kept yourself in situations where you were not, your efforts, your concern, your nurturance, your love was not reciprocated. And when that happens over and over again, we begin to lose faith in who we are, in our capacity to have love, to have success. Having released that, knowing that these things must be released, forged, as it were, by fire, by the painful experience of hurt and disregard, rejection, or abandonment, you've learned that what you are worthy and deserving of is love and faith and investment in yourself, which you're now prepared to make. You're now prepared, in abandoning what wasn't working, to move towards something that will reassure you, will test your ability to transform those any and all opportunities into the ones that will gain you success. The beautiful thing about the opportunities before you, and the beautiful things about the opportunities in the past, is that in the past you thought you knew what you were getting by giving your soul, your power, your love away to others. You thought you knew what you were getting back, and you were wrong. Here, the Fool doesn't invest in what is there for me in the end. The Fool only invests their best effort, their ability to transform something that is an obstacle into a strength, into a building block. And so this is part of the release and the innocence that the Fool exemplifies by trusting in the universe, trusting in themselves to do what needs to be done when the opportunity arises. In the past, the Two of Wands. You definitely have learned what your passion, what your expertise, what your skill set is, who you are at a certain level. And you're now turning your attention to the world, to the opportunities for growth and expansion that are out there, that are not in here. Those relationships you've held on to that may have been about your family, your familiar team, your co-workers, the things that you've always been doing. And now you recognize that there are more opportunities to grow. This is the challenge you're seeking. This is the gamble, the plan you're making to expand, to grow into new arenas, to move towards the unfamiliar, knowing that you've mastered the skills, or certainly a set of skills around your inspiration, your desires, your passions. And with that, you are able to learn what you need to learn, but you're planning that forward growth. In the future, the Six of Pentacles indicates that all of this is an opportunity for you to examine and shift the way that you have been giving and receiving. This can relate to your business, your economic stability, your growth opportunities, wealth, and certainly your relationships and your relationships to those things, your stability and security. This is where you're understanding the nature of equity in relationships. In other words, it is not about a match of equality, but it is about equity. The expectation that as you give from your strengths, then others give back to you from their strengths. So this is not about everyone being the same or creating a tit for tat. This is not a courtroom or a schoolroom for that matter, where everyone has to come up with the same answer. This is you really evaluating each relationship, whether it be with business, institutions, income sources, or relationships of love, support, professional or personal, where reciprocity is essential in order for you to feel valued and appreciated. This card sometimes indicates because of your abilities and skills, your groundedness, you are a caretaker of sorts. You're a provider. You shoulder the responsibilities, but that must work both ways. And sometimes by allowing others to assume the role for themselves or the group at large, they provide you with an opportunity to receive. And that in turn is a kind of gift. You are giving to them the chance for them to grow, for them to take on the responsibility that all members take in any relationship. It's not the passive experience of receiving love or resources, but it's the active ability to receive and to give and receive. I'm going to clarify, Aquarius, the Fool card in the presence with the Death card and the Two of Pentacles. The Death card is simply reaffirming that this new adventure, these new opportunities and new beginnings are a rebirth. They are you successfully leaving the past behind, successfully relinquishing, surrendering to circumstances that may have served you at one time, but no longer serve you. This is growing up. This is recognizing that everything you experience, you create. And you're now given a clean slate, given a new opportunity. And embedded in that rebirth is this dance that is now required of you through your own awareness and desire to be practical, resourceful, and grounded, to create something of use and value to others. You are evaluating your past. You are assessing the things that didn't work naturally, but you're also looking at the things you've learned, the things of value, the things that continue to be useful to you moving forward. And you are engaging in the act of projecting those into the future, looking forward, planning the future. And that requires active movement. There is never a stance where things are done. There is stasis. It's over. That doesn't exist in our lives. It is continually steps forward, backwards, sideways, up and down, in whichever direction we decide to create. However, this is about a continuous movement, a continuously learning experience, continuous growth, or stepping back from growth, retreat, but it is never static. And you're understanding and balancing this incredible largesse that you now recognize in the lessons that you've gained, and the new perspective that you've gathered as a result of that, moving that, translating that into future opportunities for growth. I hope that this has been helpful to you, Aquarius. I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards and ask you if you would again like, share, and subscribe to Pacific Tarot, and remind you as well that I'm creating an extended reading for you from this reading, and the link will be in the description box below. I pulled enjoy where you are, for soon you will be somewhere else. This is beautiful. And it really is a kind of container for this idea that growth is continuous and always moving forward or backward according to our design and our experience. So I pulled finally the crystal oracle Shungite, and the key word is discipline. I practice the art of discipline, and it brings freedom to my soul. Thank you again, Aquarius. Until next time, namaste.